Hey everybody, Logan here. Yeah, it's about that time again. It's been a while, hadn't it? Maybe 2 years? Maybe? I don't know. But people have been asking me, hey, what games do you have now? It's been a while. We haven't seen you pick up. So I usually do them in shorts, but I don't show my entire collection because it's been a little bit. And I did do some videos where I said I was selling off quite a bit of stuff. Normally, if you guys have been following the channel, most of the time I buy my brand new games, new releases, either on the Switch or on the Xbox. But with Microsoft doing what it's doing and no longer putting out physical games, and if they do, they're few and far between, or you have to get them from a limited run, that doesn't leave me much of a choice in order to buy new releases and on what system to get them on. So depending on the game, most of the time, if I want something that performs better, looks a little better, I usually get it on the PlayStation 5. If I want something that I can take with me and, on the go, because you can't do it with the PlayStation Portal. Yeah, I can do it while I'm taking a, or, before I'm going to bed. But I've tried traveling with the PlayStation Portal. Yeah, that didn't turn out so good. So those are the games that I would pick up on the Switch, but it really depends on the style of game. With that being said, I've got quite a decent sized PlayStation 5 collection. Now, I have sold some games over the years, and other ones that I picked up that I really didn't like, those are the ones that I ended up getting rid of, or I just gave it to my wife. Now, I will say this. My wife has about 100 games or so, maybe more, in her PlayStation 5 collection, because that's what she's been collecting the entire time. PlayStation 5 and Switch, where I was doing Xbox, Switch, and some PlayStation 5 exclusives. But like I said, with physical games really not coming to the Xbox, and them all being put out on PlayStation 5, if the game doesn't come to Game Pass and it's physical, I want a physical copy, I get it on PlayStation 5. So that's why I'm doing this video before I even... Well, there isn't much of an Xbox video to make on this, but I will do my 800 plus. Yes, it's gone to 800 physical, and it's over 1,000, I think 1,100 games digitally. Whew. That's a topic for another video. We're not going to touch on digital games. We're only going to touch on physical games for the PlayStation 5 today. So with that being said, let's go walk over the shelf. So if you take a look, that's my PlayStation 5 shelf-ish section thing there that I've really got going on. So I don't have too many PlayStation 5 games, but this is a curated selection of the things that I have purchased. Now, this includes US, European, and Japanese games because when I went over to London, I picked up some over there. I do have some other ones here and there. I'm going to go along the shelf and I'm going to show you pretty much each of them, but I'm really going to focus on some of my favorites because a lot of people, they don't really know what I play on PlayStation. And as you can see, I've picked up some decent collector's editions throughout the last couple of years too. So let's take a look. AEW Fight Forever. This was one that really let me down. If you guys know, I used to be a big AEW fan, but as of late, yeah, let's not get into that. So, this is another one. If you guys have ever played Babylon's Fall, that was sad. Because that was a live service game. It had a lot of promise. A lot of people hated it. Not too many people liked it. I didn't think it was terrible. It had its issues. It had a great art style. But, yeah. Got my Crisis Core, of course. Cthulhu Saves Christmas. The only reason I bought this one, I think this is limited run number 1. And it was the first PS5 game to be put out by Limited Run. This one I just recently picked up because I originally played it on Xbox, but now I decided to get it on PlayStation 5 because it had the update and it's been so long. I'm just going to start fresh. Dialfield Chronicle, Dolmen, Dragon Ball Fighter Z. These two, the Dragon Ball Fighter Z and Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, recently released on PlayStation 5, and I never played them. I think I have them on Switch, never played them, but I decided to pick them up here. Dragon's Dogma 2, DNF Duel. I covered this a while ago. It's a fighting game, really cool. Think of, I think it stands for Dungeons and Fighters. I think that's the series that it comes from. But think of Guilty Gear. So it's like that. Ayuden Chronicles, Evil West. Really like this one. This one was recently put up on PlayStation Plus, if I'm not mistaken. I picked this one up when I was on my trip to London. It was really cheap, so I decided to pick it up and put it in the collection. Final Fantasy VII Remake, Rebirth, Final Vendetta. Now, Final Vendetta, if you like the Streets of Rage type games, you'll definitely like this. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I still need to beat it, though. This one I recently got. Gal Guardians Demon Purge. I heard it's in the Galgun series. So I just saw it and I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. Goat Simulator 3, we all know there was no 2 because they thought it would be funny. Godfall, that was just, I think this was my first PlayStation 5 game because there really wasn't much out. Guilty Gear Strive, Helldivers, Jurassic Park Classic Game Collection. This one I picked up from my local game store, and I just wanted it on PlayStation 5. I have it on Switch, but I thought that would be pretty cool to own. King of Fighters. Now, this one is another one I picked up in the UK. I didn't really know too much about it. I hadn't heard anything about it. So I was like, a Return to Moria. I like Lord of the Rings. I don't like the new Amazon garbage, but hey, I was like, okay, let me try this out. And I think it was like less than 10 pounds. So that would be, I don't know, about 12 bucks US. Avengers, Midnight Suns, Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2, never played it, never opened it. I do have regular Spider-Man, Amazing, which is fantastic. I love that one. New Joe and Mac, if you guys have ever played, I think it was originally on the Super Nintendo. I can't remember if it was on the Sega Genesis, but it's a classic. And you know me, I love dinosaurs. No Man's Sky, I just picked this one up, and I also got it because it was a variant. What's the issue you see here? The title wasn't printed, so this was a mistake. So I did pick that one up. Oddworld Soulstorm, Outcast, did a video on that. Persona 5, that's the Collector's Tin. Ratchet & Clank, Rise of Ronin, Sandland, Shadow Warrior 3. This one I loved. It came out on PlayStation Plus a while ago. I was making tons of content off of this, and YouTube didn't like it because it was too violent. Shantae, fantastic series. I got the collector's edition of Sifu. Never opened it because I have it digitally. Recently got, and I did a short on it, Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance, Slave Zero X, South Park, Star Ocean, Divine Force. I actually started playing that. It's pretty good. Star Trek Resurgence. That was another game that I picked up in the UK. It wasn't physical here from my understanding, but it's a story-driven game. And I thought, okay, I love old school Star Trek. I don't like the new stuff, but yeah. Stellar Blade, fantastic. A must-own for every PlayStation owner. You must have it. One of the best games out right now. Oops, there we go. Stranger of Paradise, not the best Final Fantasy game, but it's okay. Street Fighter 6, Sword and Fairy. I just picked this one up. I thought I had it. Apparently I didn't. So I'm not too sure what style of game this is, but I think it's action-oriented. If you guys know, let me know. I just picked it up maybe 2 weeks ago. System Shock. That was cool to pick up. I installed it, got to play it for like maybe 10 minutes before I had to skedaddle, but I do have this on my list to play. Tactics Ogre, of course, the Turtles game. I recently beat it. My buddy Lich, as you guys know him, came from out of town this weekend, and we beat this together. And I just thought, you know, it was an awesome time. Had fun. Cowabunga Collection, Shredder's Revenge. Love that game. Terminator Resistance. That is a fantastic game. Just like the RoboCop game, it's the same company. If you haven't played this, it's definitely worth a gander. We got Valkyrie Elysium. We got this one I didn't know too much about. I got it dirt cheap. I think it was like less than $10. Warhammer 40,000 Inquisitor Martyr. So I was like, all right, I think it's like a Diablo type game. I picked it up dirt cheap. So WWE 2K23, 24, Yuru Kill. That one I wasn't a fan of, but I do have it. It mixes. I thought it was going to be more of a shmup, but it's more of a digital novel kind of thing. Not my style. So if we go over here, now the Ascent, if you ever saw this on Xbox Game Pass, this is where I played it. And then I got the collector's edition for the PlayStation 5 because this is where they released it. I got this for like 20 bucks. It was so cheap and I was like, had to pick it up. This is a funny one. This is one I think I got on clearance for like $5. It's Back for Blood. I know a lot of people think this is, it really is the poor man's Left 4 Dead, or as some like to say, if you ordered it off Wish.com. Now, this is a great series. I played both of them back in the day on the GameCube. This Blood Rain 1 and 2 revamped. This is awesome. Now, I have the Fresh Bites. I think that's what it's called, digital. And I bought my wife the physical one, but I already had it, so I gave her that one. Dust Diver 2. I picked this one up because it looked really cool. But after I tried to play it, the whole thing's in Japanese. Even though it's subtitled in English, it's hard for me to play a game that's completely in Japanese, even if it's subtitled. It's just a weird thing I have. I don't know why, but I heard it's a really good game. Sad for me, though, right? Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Got the collector's edition, the big boy. Heard that's pretty expensive now. Final Fantasy 16 Deluxe Edition, of course. This is one that I wanted to pick up. I pre-ordered it. Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. Have the, what was it, Rebirth one? I can't remember what the other one was called on PS4. The other one was a fighting game. I think this is an RPG, so I haven't started this. Got No More Heroes 3. This was crazy to get on PlayStation 5. At the time, I think I was only able to get it on PlayStation 5. Later on, it came out on the Switch. This is like the first release. I thought that was really cool. It's a pretty good game. If you haven't played it, you might like it. And then I got Guardians of the Galaxy Deluxe Edition because, well, that was one of the few good things Marvel has put out lately. But actually, Midnight Suns, if you haven't played it, that's a pretty decent game too. And Wanted Dead. This harkens back. This is a collector's edition. I never had the collector's edition. I had the regular one, and then I sold it for some reason, or I can't remember what happened to it, but you can see it's not in the collection. So when I got this one I got for $15. It was a steal. I had to pick it up. So it was really cool to pick this one up. This, like I was saying, harkens back to the days of the PS3 and a lot of those beat 'em up action slasher. It's a really cool game from that era, and once you play it, it's just really cool. So it's definitely worth giving a shot. Those are my PS5 games, and if you want to look, that's where I have my boxes and a couple of other things. How about we take a look at the controllers before we end the video? There we go. Let's take a look. Those are a couple of my PlayStation 5 controllers. I did get rid of the God of War and the Spider-Man one. I don't like God of War. I know people are going to just have my head. I just never was a fan of the series. And I got rid of the Spider-Man one because I thought it was really cheaply designed, but I sold it for a really good price. So I do have the Hogwarts and Final Fantasy, the camo, the silver, and if you look on the back, I have the light blue, and down here, I have the red and the blue. But I bet you're like, hey, aren't you missing a couple? Yes. I have the purple, which is my wife's. I gave that to her. The pink and the other red one, those are all, and the white one, are all in the ones that we use in our bedroom because we do have a PlayStation 5 in there. And I also have the standard black one that I customized with a red faceplate, like right here, down here. That's in the living room because I have a PlayStation 5 in there as well. So there you go. There's a little quick look, and not the fanciest of videos, but I thought this might be a little interesting look after all these years. Yeah, I think it's been 2 years, but hey, what do you guys think? Well, there you go. What did you guys think of my PlayStation 5 collection? Yeah, so it's been quite a while. If you guys have seen the last video, you know certain games are missing because, like I said, certain ones I got rid of, I traded in because I didn't like, or I gave to my wife. Like, again, she's got over 100 plus games. Yeah, her collection dwarfs mine. But you know, guys know me. Switch, Xbox I play a lot of games on Xbox, but they're majority Game Pass these days. Especially with all the new releases. I downloaded Senua's Hellblade 2. downloaded that recently. Of course, I still play Exoprimal on there. So there's a lot of games that I play across all systems, but that's my physical collection for the PlayStation 5. So I do have some of the controllers, and if you didn't notice, I also have the DualSense Edge, but it was in that little case. I should have showed you that too, but I do have the DualSense Edge. Otherwise, I don't have any of those other Vectrix controllers. I've just never put money into those controllers. Well, you guys can see from the channel. I don't know, I think the DualSense is probably the best way to play your PlayStation 5. Plus, it's full wireless, and you just can't beat the functionality of the DualSense controller. It is one of my favorite controllers. And I never thought I'd say that about anything PlayStation, because they were never that comfortable. But this one is just a banger of a controller, and Sony just knocked it out of the park. And I thought it was pretty good. Even though with everything going on in the gaming industry right now, it's really fun. And I do have a couple of other PlayStation 5 games that I am picking up. I'm actually going to get the Marvel vs. Capcom Collection. I'm getting it on Switch and on PlayStation, but that's going to be a PlayStation 4 title. I am importing Lollipop Chainsaw from PlayAsia. I'm getting it there for the PlayStation 5. And I think that's it. Oh, Astrobot will be coming out. Now, I'm also thinking about, depending on when you're watching this, the game may or may not be out, Wukong on PlayStation 5 as well. I've always liked the Legend of the Monkey King story. I thought that was a really cool story. And I really like the way this game looks. I know it's one of those Souls-like games, and you know me, I'm not a fan of them. But hey, it's always worth giving it another shot, right? Just because you don't like one game doesn't mean you're not going to like the other, even if it's the same genre. So it's always give it another shot before you say you don't like it. That's what my mom always said. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you have any questions about the games that I have, or if you want me to do any live streams or gameplay videos or something of that, drop it in the comment section down below, and I'll do what I can. Thank you guys so much. Hit that subscribe button again. Thank you, thank you. If you haven't, and if you want to, we have a member section. You can now join the channel, and there's member exclusive content such as emojis and videos. Thank you guys so much. Like we always say, God bless you all, and be legendary. Thanks again.